Hello, I'm Eileen, a normal human woman. God, you're such a dumb bitch. Okay. Welcome to Good Enough Gardening. I'm here in southeastern Minnesota and it is the middle of February. Because it is winter in Minnesota, I'm inside today. If you are an avid gardener, you know that the downtime in winter is often some of the most active time because it's a time to reflect on last year and plan for the upcoming growing season. Something I've been planning on doing since about last September or October is to review all of the dahlias I grew, rate them from lowest to highest. I'll update you on which tubers I did end up saving, as well as take a peek at my storage in the basement and see how they are overwintering. So follow along, why don't you? So this is one that I was very excited about. It is Jennifer's Wedding. So this says it is supposed to be a 7-inch purple flower that grows about 5 feet high. And you can see this is definitely not 5 feet high. I am guessing that I ordered it because of the dark stems. And this purple is just not very impressive. And I would guess, knowing the kind of dahlias I like to order, that you're not supposed to be able to see the center like that. And I've had a lot of plants this year that look like this, and so I don't know if this is due to some environmental factor that makes them sort of like revert to a common form or what, but I'm not impressed. And this says 3.5 feet tall, 4-inch blooms, coral pink. Now I'm no doctor. That doesn't look coral pink to me. And again, it looks so similar to that Jennifer's Wedding that's over there. So I don't know if this is user error. I don't know if me messing up planting in some way would cause the blooms to look so different. This is obviously different from the Jennifer's Wedding tuber because the foliage is not dark, but something goofy is going on because that is definitely not coral pink. Similar situation over here. This one is supposed to be Japanese bishop. And doesn't look like it. It looks just like eccentric. So not getting dug up. I do kind of, you know, they're cute. They're nice little flowers, but not what I was hoping for, not a knockout. This one is called Gabrielle Marie, and this is the same kind of pot that hasn't done very well. But yeah, Gabrielle Marie is 5-inch blooms, apricot peach color. It's supposed to be 4 feet high. This is, I don't know, 18 inches at most. It is the first year, so it will, if it survives, it'll get bigger, but I'll show you a picture of what this one looks like. That one will be a keeper, even though it's not blowing me out of the water. The first bloom I got off of this one looked almost identical to the duds that I just showed you, but now it's taking off. It's got a much more distinctive sort of deep magenta. Yeah, it's got beautiful color. It's got this sort of floppy form. I don't know all the names of the different types of blooms, but it has put on a bunch more blooms, and even though this got kind of scorched, you can tell the blooms have recovered. So this one's doing okay. So I will keep that one. We don't have any in bloom right now, but I will put up a photo. This one is Lollipop. And this one did come true to what it was supposed to be. and it's doing okay. I think the problem with this one is mostly the pot that I have it in. I was experimenting using some plastic pots versus terracotta, and this pot just doesn't retain water very well, so I've just had to be very, very diligent with the watering. This one is Cornell, and unfortunately, because of all the heat and sun, these blooms are not as vibrant as they should be, but I did cut some the other day. This is a pom-pom variety, and I have been very impressed with this one. You can see some of these heads got burnt. I might just pull that off. Don't waste your time. But this one came pretty true to form, and I really like the color of it. The ones that did not get sunburned are much more of a deep red, and it's got sort of the darker stem, which I really like. So that's a keeper for sure. This is another one that is definitely a keeper, and this is, what are you called? Peach Fuzz. And this is pretty much the only cactus or semi-cactus plant that I have, and I just in photos haven't been super attracted to this shape, but in an arrangement it really looks nice, so I might try and get some more cactus types for next year. This is one that is a tuber I saved from last year, and she is called Michaela Miranda. I'm guessing someone just named these after their like nieces or something, but I actually don't love these colors. They're a bit too femme for me. I really like the deeper colors better, but this is its second year. This plant is super healthy, even though I whacked it and broke one of the shoots. And this pot, this kind of plastic pot, works way better than the fake terracotta plastic pots. So I don't know why that is, but this is just a nursery pot from like a shrub I got. And it is really beautiful. It's just not my kind of colors. But this is the second year I've had this one, and it's very strong, very vigorous. So she's a keeper. This one has not bloomed at all yet this year. This is the only one that hasn't yet bloomed. And there are buds on here. And this one hasn't gotten really dried out. See, there's one. This one hasn't really gotten dried out. I've been taking really good care of it. I think it's just a later variety, or maybe I planted it late. Honestly, I do not remember. But this one's tapioca, and this is more of just unlike Michaela Miranda that's like a purpley white, this one is just white, and it's kind of a creamy yellowy white. And so I am really looking forward to that one. Hopefully it will begin to bud up. This is a new tuber this year. I had one a couple years ago that I didn't store very well, so it didn't make it. So I did get a new one this year. The other one that is a keeper, has been an A+, is this one here, which unfortunately doesn't have a bloom on it right now. I just cut them all back before the last heat wave. There's another one coming up. But this one's in a pot also with a couple other plants, and it's doing great anyway. This is Deborah Renee. It's really strong. Oh, sir. It's really strong. I'll show you a picture of it, and I really like the color. It's another deep burgundy type color, but it's more red than purple, and it looks really lovely in an arrangement. So that is definitely a keeper, and I will give it more space next year so it can really take off. This is a winner, this is a keeper, this is worth the money. This is a cafe au lait, and this is sort of what is always the quintessential dahlia that people always want to grow, and obviously I understand now why that is. Completely lives up to the hype. The first couple blooms were this kind of color. They had this stripy pattern on them, and they were much more purpley pinky than that sort of taupe or creamy, you know, cafe au lait coloring that is common to these. So I don't know if this is like a cafe au lait twist or whatever, but it is beautiful. It's a nice big plant. And I don't think these tubers were very expensive, and I bought them kind of late, and I bought them from a place that I haven't bought anything from before. So this paid off for sure. These tubers are a keeper. I'm gonna guess that they will be enormous, so I will likely be able to divide it, which means I just have to find space to plant them in next year. We have Mai Tai. Look at that. Beautiful plant. Very tall. Almost 6 feet. So healthy. And finally, our #1 dahlia this year is this one. This is called Marn. I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly, but it doesn't matter. And this is a pom-pom variety. These are nice big pom-poms. Once it started growing, it just took off. It has grown very consistently. It has this nice dark stem. And like, look at these, they're so strong. It almost doesn't need any staking. Like, it's not really leaning on any of the stakes that I have. And I just love this color. It's almost salmon-y in the middle, like kind of a sunset blush color. Then it gets this nice apricot-y color, or tangerine. I don't know what you would call it, but look at that. And it just looks fabulous in an arrangement with the cafe au lait and like the Rip City. So that one, this is my favorite one this year. We are down in my basement in the laundry area. And here is how I store my tubers. You can see I have a humidity monitor in here, so if it gets too humid, I will pop the lid off. And I kept the labels with everything, and so we can just poke and see how that's doing. Ooh, that's in good shape. And let's see. There's another one there. Yeah, they're nice and firm. I don't feel anything squishy or rotten or totally dehydrated. Ooh, that's good. So I'm gonna put the lid back on. And this is just spent potting soil. And the same thing in here. So we have our labels. Oh, that's a big one. And you can see that's looking pretty good. So I'm feeling pretty encouraged by that. It's good news. Nothing's too dry or too moist. In a later video, I'll talk about some new plants that I might be ordering for this year, as well as some other garden plans that I'm very excited about, and we will get rolling on some planning and preparation for the 2024 garden. Coming year. Are you guys for real? Let's roll the footage. Get it together. I hate myself. It's freaking depressing. Bug.